Well, welcome everybody. 505 interview series. Big D coming at you. Boy, excited for tonight's show. But before we get started, I want to remind everybody, use the link tree that's pinned down in the comment section or in the description of the video and go support my advertisers, sponsors, and preferred retail partners. They help continue to keep all the programming coming out on that you're watching, that you see, that you like, you enjoy. And go use the exclusive promo codes that are only available to my viewers out there. Save yourself some coinage, because I'm a man of the people. I'm here to give back to you, the people, and take advantage of that. So whether you're looking for cigars, whether you're looking for accessories, I got you covered on multiple facets. I don't even know what I'm smoking tonight, but I'll figure that out when we bring our guest on tonight. My guest tonight, dudes like me, blue-collared, manual labor grunt out there. But like a lot of us manual labor grunts, we do like bougie stuff. And this guy found that niche of blue-collar bougie out there with his high-end luxury accessory line out there. So let's bring on our guest tonight. We got Bryson Fowler of Kingpin Luxury Accessories. Welcome, sir.
Woo! Hey, man, that was a great introduction, man.
You like that blue-collar bougie?
Yeah, blue-collar bougie, that double B, man. I can appreciate that.
You know, and I'm sitting there looking at your accessories. I'm like, ooh, that's nice. I'm like, that's nice. I'm like, you know what? I know why I like this. It's because dude's blue-collared. He's tapped into that blue-collared mindset of what we like. And then it's like, well, we like high-end stuff occasionally. It's just not all about wrecking our knuckles on something.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It was more so like, hey, we go to work every day. We grind hard. And then, we like nice things. Like, it ain't just about, dirt on the nails and getting it going. For those that don't know, I have a roofing business. We have a tax business, and then we also have the cigar accessory line that Kingpin Luxury. So the way that we actually started the cigar accessory line was because I hate golf, right? I don't like to golf. So anybody invites me to golf, and I tell you no, that's why. I'm just gonna be the guy smoking a cigar, drinking on the golf cart, talking trash about how all other golfers are trash, and when are we gonna go eat? So that's me in a nutshell. You want to bypass all that and let's just kick it. Right now I'm in my bro's cigar lounge, LG's down in Allen, Texas, man. So I wanted to pop in and get what I'm smoking on today. He has the El Septimo Empress of Sheba. Now, bro, this is a really good smoke. I was like, man, where is it at? I tried to go to Cigar International the other day and pick it up, and they're like, yeah, we don't have it. I said, well, who has it? He says LG, and I'm just like, what? And so I've been fussing at him for the past 45 minutes about how come he ain't told me he had this particular stick. He was like, man, I thought you knew. I'm like, how? I didn't do the inventory.
Look at there, sitting there with your bougie accessories and bougie cigar.
Hey, man, I love a good smoke just as good as anybody, especially if we're gonna blow our money in the air. Like, look at you over there blowing that good cash money up in the air right there.
That's right. It's the one hobby, because I consider this to be a hobby. It's the one hobby out there where you literally burn cash.
Literally burning money, bro.
You're literally. It's just like you watch it go up in smoke, and then you hope that you enjoyed it, because if you didn't, then you're kind of upset that you just wasted that money that could have gone to something else.
Exactly. It's like, man, I want my money back. And but it's part of the journey. So it's kind of like, even when you experience a bad smoke, you know what your palate doesn't like, and so you know what direction to go. And like, what's crazy is like I usually smoke with my family or you know my friends, and I'm usually in my garage, and every time I find something that I really like, I put it into my daily smoke, and then I realized that I got an expensive palate. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna need to turn myself into like a lower end smoker because I don't get it. Like I need to go down to smoking like the medium shelf because like I when I first started out, I thought you know really expensive meant really good smoke, right? And so now that we're in this journey, we know that that's not always the case. So if anybody got any suggestions for like a lower end price but a good quality smoke, please send them my way because I'm all ears.
You know, this is something that people have asked me a lot about, touching on what you were just talking about, which is, you know, high expensive doesn't necessarily mean good
Right.
out there, and you know, there's those different types of smokers out there where you have the budget smoker that, you know, hey, quorums and Gurkhas are about well they can afford, but they still want to be part of the culture, and that's fine. You have the clout smokers that smoke nothing but hard to find, impossible cigars, and like, well, I got this and you don't, so
Right.
you know, got to snap this for the gram.
Right.
So then you have the smokes anything, doesn't matter what it is, person. You know, they're fine with whatever. And and the one thing I've noticed about blue collared smokers, guys like you and me, is that we tend to have a level that we're comfortable with, but we don't limit ourselves money wise when it comes to a cigar. If we want it, we'll buy it. You know,
Exactly.
we have that. We're kind of in that in between place of kind of being a mid level smoker to a high end smoker, but we don't limit ourselves. If we want it, we buy it, we smoke it.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know,
See, the thing of it is like we spend our money on what we really want to spend it on, and then two is like we work real hard. So it's kind of like, at the end of the day, I don't do too much recreationally. So what I do, um, I smoke cigars. I have me a bourbon. I have me a nice Coke or root beer, and you know I indulge in a good, nice, good, clean smoke. I want to be relaxed and I want to not be bothered, especially during football season. So, hey
well, I mean, you got to sit there and stress over the cowgirls blowing it in, you know.
man, we were gonna be friends. I thought we was almost friends, that close.
Almost for this.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, there's three things that I know in life that are true: taxes, death, and Dak turning the ball over at a pivotal time in the game.
Hey man, sorry man. Dak's gonna be right, okay? Who's your squad?
Me? Oh, I am a fan of next year's our year, every year guy for the Chicago Bears.
Who
Yep,
cares?
that's right. Hey, next year's our year, and I'll say that every year. Hey, next
Oh,
year's our year.
you're more delusional than I
No,
am.
because we all know that next year, 4 games in, we go, ah, season's over. All right,
Man, like I don't even know who your quarterback is.
Caleb Williams,
But come on now.
the number one pick.
He's a rookie. You hadn't gotten the offensive line,
They got an
and
offensive line.
uh, are they any
They,
good?
they, they, they look solid. Look, I look at it like this: if we won 7 games with an inconsistent quarterback last year, What would happen if we actually had a quarterback that was semi-competent?
Hey, man, he's decent. Justin Fields was great. His organization failed him. And you know what that organization is?
Yes, his inability to pass the ball accurately.
The Bears.
That's all right. He can sit back. He can sit back for 4 weeks while Russ screws the pooch and then get his shot in
Well,
Pittsburgh.
I applaud you in taking your shots at the Steelers Nation. And one group that I respect and hate at the same time equally is the Steelers Nation, and then the Niners I just absolutely hate. Like I don't even like them. Like there's no hey, I respect you in capacity. I just do not like the 49ers. But whatever. So anyway, what are you smoking?
Tonight, what am I smoking on? I am smoking on an Almago. I
Mm,
have the Ecuadorian Habano.
nice. Nice. A
I
lot of
forget what they call this one. I like Almago. Very good. Small boutique brand. I was having a hard time deciding because I just kind of brought my travel door out with me.
yeah. Yeah, I picked up a bag here today myself, trying to figure out what else I need to add to my humidor at the house. Because like as soon as I can, I smoke them up. So I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna have to stay moving and grooving. And so what I thought you were gonna like jump into instead of jumping into you know, your horrible taste in sports teams. I thought you were gonna educate me on like, your leaf choices and everything, but we're gonna move right along past that. So me and you have in common that like, we like to work with our hands. Like I'm a roofer by trade. A lot of people are like, well, trying to figure out what am I in this cigar industry. We are accessories brand, but like, by trade, like I'm a roofer. Like the cigar accessories help pay for my hobby. Um, and a lot of times people are confused by you got to keep the main thing and enjoy everything else that comes along your way.
Sure.
So we started a podcast called Boss Talks on the Rooftop, and what that show is about is really just showing and showcasing different industries. Because whenever I tell like people like, "Hey, I'm a roofer," they're like, "You're a black roofer?" Yeah, it's a rare thing down here in Texas. So it's kind of like, yeah, we been in roofing business for over 30 years and been doing all right. And I took over like 5-6 years ago and been doing phenomenal. But I want to like really educate people. Like, yeah, I have a degree, right? But my trade has made me more money than my degree ever has.
I think that's all of us though. I mean, yeah, I went to a 2 year college and I got my 2 year degree, but I don't do anything remotely close to what I got the degree in. I make far more money, out there grinding it away, on the daily than I would sitting behind a desk.
Right, right. And then it's always a beautiful day in the office whenever you're able to get outside and really just take a breath. Like you're not stuck inside. Is I think it helps better with the mental, right? Because like it is men's mental health month, and I would like to shine light that getting outdoors and being active is very very stress relieving, and then you're able to do it in your vocation. So for me, I'll say for me, it does a lot for my mental to be able to like get out and about, get in the community, and not be stuck behind a desk. Which during tax season, I am stuck behind the desk, and that drives me insane.
Uh, that's how I feel after I got that promotion. Well, I'm kind of splitting my time between being out in the field and behind a desk, and I much rather be out in the field than behind a desk. It's far far better, I think. And of course, on this channel, we celebrate men's mental health every month because I think it's important, and should not be limited to 1 month because men suffer through depression and anxiety and other mental health crisis every single day. And so I celebrate the men out there who deal with it, who are part of it, who contribute to helping other men out there. That's just, for me, that's something that's far important. And of course, also celebrate all of our men and women in the armed forces, because every 22 minutes one of our heroes in the armed forces commits suicide, and we need to put a stop to that and put more resources into helping people that
Yeah,
need that type of help than where we've been putting our resources at.
yeah. I believe it's very troubling to see that we can program our soldiers to go in and go into combat and do what they need to do, but we can't debrief them and reprogram to be ready to come back and deal with what they were going through.
Yeah,
This isolation, you're away from home, the neglect, the abuse the trauma that you have to deal with. Um, I'm a true supporter of our troops. I'm a true fan of our veterans that come over here and they come back home and reintegrate themselves. Um, it's a different kind of ball game that they got to deal with. Uh,
yes,
and like just sitting down and actually having a cigar with a lot of buddies of mine that are veterans, and hearing their stories and hearing how their travels. Like I love hearing. I'm a big travel person, so I love hearing how they travel to different places. And then I go as a civilian. I'm like, yeah, I know where you were at. So okay, that's what you were doing over there. That's wild. So being able to connect with them on that different level, and then also trying to let them know, hey man, you can lay down your armor, right? Having a good space for like my friends and just every man that I meet that we're just sitting here kicking and having a cigar with. Hey man, you can lay down your armor, bro. We can just relax, hash out, and enjoy our time. And like that's how we kicked PCA, man. And it was just like, yo, we're just having a good time now at this point,
yeah.
running gun all day and then just sitting there kicking and trying to party all night. It's crazy.
And I'm getting too old for that stuff anymore.
Yeah. But hey man, it's all good.
Yeah. So, how did the idea come to you that there's a need for a high end high end accessories out there that are more geared towards the working person, the working man, the working woman?
Well, I was sitting there coming about like looking for a way to like subsidize my cigar budget, because I'm a family man. You have kids, I have kids, so it's kind of like, okay, we're blowing money in the air. So it was like, all right, well, so no one's on my case about it, and my daughter can get a 6-piece nugget instead of a 4-piece nugget today. let me find a different avenue. And so all my businesses are need-based businesses. So I'm a service guy, so I'm all about serving people. And you know what everybody needs? A damn lighter. You know what I'm saying? How many times you always without a lighter or a torch or something like that? If you're a smoker, you like candles for women. If you're in the women smokers, I wanted something that was gonna represent me because I'm a watch guy. I love watches. And so that's why this has a clock on it. And then I wanted that old classic look where like you press down the plunger and it fires up and it flips open, right? And I wanted to do it to where it was at a price point where okay, you spend a little bit of money, but it's not gonna hit you over the head to where you're like, oh my God, I gotta save up for this. But it's priced at to where I'm not letting this walk off for me. And then plus when you pull it out, it's like, yeah, you feel like somebody. You know what I mean? You feel like a king. You feel like you're really doing your thing out here. So and then Kingpin Luxury is just about me being multifaceted and just being a leader uh, within my group and within my companies and the industries that I'm in. So that's why we jumped into the accessories is just because it's not an accessory. I look at it as a necessity. Like
It is a necessity out there. It's you're, you've you've really kind of touched because looking at your price point at where everything sits at, and then looking at other brands out there where if I wanted DuPont, I'm gonna have to take out a second mortgage
yeah,
if I want it. But I also don't want something that's cheap, that's not durable, that's not gonna hold up to the wear and tear and beating of what you're gonna get. But I also want something that's nice. That's also kind of a talking piece. That if, hey, let me borrow your lighter, and like, wow, that's really nice. Where'd you get something that opens up that conversation? I think is what a lot of us, what a lot of people out there, we kind of like is if you hand that lighter to somebody, they're gonna inspect it and wow, that's nice, and you all now all of a sudden have this something that you can talk about.
right. And so that's really what it also boiled down to as well because it gets people talking, right? And then it gets you like really fellowshipping and networking with each other about hey, where'd you get that? You think of me and it's a good quality product. Like it's like, oh, okay, when you have a good quality product, you have a fair price, and it's a necessity, it's a needs based. Uh, People are going to rock with you, and so that's how I try to come off like like of the people and for the people. I hope that's what my actions and my aura dictates. Uh, because I'm more so I'm really a down to earth kind of guy, and I like nice shit. I like nice shit, like I really do. Um, and if I can get nice shit for a good quality price, you know what I mean. And I know if I'm like that, I know there's plenty of others of the same mindset.
But I think that's a lot of people out there. But I think that there's a standard that's kind of set for most people where they're not going to spend over this amount on a lighter. They're kind of set. A lot of people are like, well, I'm not going to spend that. If I lose it, it's cheap enough. But I've had most of my lighters. I've had them for years because I like them. I took the time. I spent the money on something that one was nice, functional, does what I want in it, and on top of that, I'm not going to let anybody walk away with it because if I loan you my lighter to light up, man, I'm watching you like a hawk.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Friends now.
I get you. Yeah,
we're gonna be talking until you give me my lighter back. Like
that's right. Yeah, come on. All right, you're good. It's lit. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's there. But I think there's that mindset though that's out there, especially with a lot of people out there when it comes to blue collar, is that you know it's just like we kind of sit average, but in reality, we're really that kind of one that one group out there in the middle class that has expendable income to spend on nice things because we like nice things. We bust our ass, and if we, at the end of the day, if I want something, I'm going to buy it. And it's just plain and simple. I don't need to justify it. It's like if I want it, I'm going to buy it, and I want something nice. And, I like to think that most of the things that I have spent money on, to me, they're nice. I'm not breaking the bank, but also it's not cheap. It serves its purpose. It's functional, and at the end of the day, I'm happy with what I have out there. I don't have that need for validation from anybody, but I'm also not seeking clout either. But if you see it, you're gonna go, oh yeah, this guy's money. No, I don't have money. I'm just smart or stupid on where I spend my money.
Right. And so it's one of those things like you pick and choose where you want to spend it, right? And then for me, and yourself, because you're a business owner, you're a small business owner, as well as part of the working class, part of the blue collar, like you like to call it. I say we're the builders of America, so I mean,
It's true. We look, we're out there doing the stuff that most people can't or don't want to do.
Very much so, and that's factual. And like I tell anybody, they're like, "You get on the roof, yeah, I'll get my ass on the roof." They're like, "I'm not getting up there." Well, and that's why no one will ever remember your name.
That's right. I dragged my fat ass up into ceilings and jamming the cabinets and all wherever's needed to go to fix the problem. I'm going to do it, and I love it. I love what I do. Every day is different. No 2 days are exactly the same, and
Right.
I get to be out. I get to be out. I get to see a lot of just bland stuff because
Right.
the area I cover tends to be flat and full of cows and corn.
And then like the other thing for us too is we can write these off on our taxes. These are tax write-offs. The whatever it costs for us to do the podcast, whatever it costs for us to do the torches, and whatever my cigar budget is set in. This review is a business write-off, so I'm like, let me get all the sticks right now, so I can write this bad boy off on my taxes later. And you know what I'm saying. So that's another reason that everything kind of works in itself. How we do it, like the taxes, the roofing, the cigars. So it's like we covered all our bases. And so for you, man, you're doing a phenomenal job with your show, bro. I was looking at your show and I was like, man, I'm truly honored to be here, bro. Like, I appreciate you having me here.
Well, the whole idea behind the show was to showcase the brands that don't get the love that people overlook in the humidors. I wanted people to go to that other side and to try something that is outside of what they would normally do. And on top of that, I wanted to add on people in the industry, whether it be small business accessory owners, whether it be content creators that do amazing content but don't get the recognition or the love that they deserve. I wanted to use my platform to showcase all of this to give back to the people that look, if you're in line and you're looking for a quality lighter, you're looking for a quality cutter, you're looking for a nice high-end accessory that's not going to break the bank. Well, this guy right, oh, you do that way. There, this guy right here, that guy right there is, he's got what you need. He's he's got what you're looking for. Whether you know, and it's nice, and they're talking pieces, and people are going to see that and want to. Damn, where'd you get that at?
Right.
And then that leads to that's one person who bought from you who just showed it to somebody who's now going to go buy for you to just continue that trickle down effect of just giving back that way. You're continuing to be out there, and for a lot, the working class people out there, we're a very small we're a very small minority in the world, but we are one of the largest in the community because we enjoy a good smoke and we don't hide it. And
Right.
we're out there, but also I was told when I started early on that a lot of people felt that I was giving that voice to the working class, to the blue collar out there, because they're often by manufacturers and by retail shops ignored because they're not high end and they're not low end. They're just kind of in that upper end out there, and so the things that we like tend to be blown off or ignored, and all of a sudden here I am providing my take on something, and now it's got the attention of manufacturers, it's got the attention of retail shops, and now they're listening, and I'm very humbled by that finally, that for somebody like me, somebody like you, that that now they're listening to what we want, what we're interested in, and now they've kind of shifted marketing towards us because the cloud smokers don't need that. They're going to buy whatever they want, and the low end smokers, they don't need that because they're stuck in that level out there. But we kind of hit this full range of what we like from that low end all the way up to the top tier end. Because if we want it, as we've said before, if we want it, we're going to buy it. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, because either way, we either already have it in the budget, or we've already saved for it, or we know we're gonna go make it back. Like we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
And then two is like just because we're blue collar doesn't mean we're low end. It doesn't mean we're low quality. Is We're not always looking for the economical deal. We're looking for what we want. This is like, yo, I I'm luxury. Like my leisure is luxury. So yeah, I may come home with my nails dirty, but I take a shower and I throw on my nice clothes. I throw on just my t-shirts, and what I'm saying, I go get a good quality smoke, and that's my luxury lifestyle. So, and then anybody that knows me knows that I like to travel. So I'm usually traveling somewhere. So I'm not big on cars. I'm not big on, like, name brand clothes. But you'll see me pop out to an island or something like that. We'll take a family. What I'm saying, we'll do it big, and like I'll have a nice cigar with me. Um, but yeah, and then trying to be TSA compliant with these, please, guys, heads up, put this in your check bag. Like they're gonna try and confiscate this, and they're gonna take this home and give it to whoever their significant other is at the day, or they may keep it for themselves. So just, I mean, it's bad business marketing on my side, because I want people to buy more instead of like it's more beneficial for me for you to lose this. But hey, in order to keep up with it, when you're traveling, like I said, because I'm a traveler, I'm a known traveler. So yeah, stay TSA compliant. So you're not having it's weird it dumbs down the experience. You're on the beach, and you pull out like that plastic torch that you just bought at the gift shop, and you light your cigar. But if you it makes that experience a lot more better when you're on the beach. You pull out a Kingpin luxury torch, and you light up your cigar. Now you're feeling in your element. Now you're back into that luxury space that a vacation is supposed to be.
How, how long did you put into kind of your development on what you wanted to do with kind of every of all your different accessories out there after you knocked your phone over? When when you're out there, did you put a lot of thought and effort into what you wanted to do when you were going into manufacturing, or was it like you just kind of knew and this is what I want?
I knew I wanted something that represented me, right? Um, like I said, I'm a watch guy. Like I love watches. So anywhere from the high end Felipe to AP to a G Shock to Citizens to Victus. Like I like watches. If it looks good, um, I'm gonna rock it. So I wanted something that was gonna be okay, that showed that kind of love for me, right? And then we have the gold, the black and gold. I was looking at three. I like to keep things simple. I do things in threes, keep it real simple, stupid, right? So I did a black and gold, a rose gold, and a solid gold, right? Um, the rose gold was with women smokers in mind because they're the ones that are like, hey, you got something for us. And what's crazy is the women smokers like the black and gold more than they like the rose gold, and the men like the rose gold more than they like any of the other colors. And I was like,
That rose gold's classy.
yeah,
It's classy. I
yeah,
like rose gold. I like the rose gold over solid gold, over black and gold. You know, they're all nice, but rose gold, it's just something about it. It pops. It stands out. There's a sense of class to it.
right. And so, but I was listening to my brain thrust. I was sitting at Canoma, which is a cigar lounge down here, um, owned by Tommy Black, and he was having Wind Down Wednesdays. And Wind Down Wednesdays is usually a woman driven event. And so a group of women, they saw me with my torch and they were like, "You don't have a rose gold?" And so listening to that, you know, I'm like, okay, well, cool. I'll get it. Because like I also like take my signs in threes, right? So I was going to different lounges and they're like, and I went to Blowing Smoke, which you had EB on here earlier this month, and then I went to Smoking Jacket, and then I went to Cigar International, and I saw everyone was looking for rose gold accessories. The women had rose gold accessories. They after they done bedazzle them and freak them out however they want to freak them out. I was like, okay, well, I'm listening. So I like to be cognizant of about what I'm listening to. Like negative thoughts, I don't negative thoughts from other people. I really don't hear about it. But if it's constructive criticism, or if it's like suggestions, I literally take suggestions and mold it over. So we've been at it for about 2 years now. Um, First year was actually testing the market, seeing if there was a niche for us, if this was something that was going to really take off for us. Um, it did. And then this second year is really just promoting the brand and putting more torches in people's hands and, um, really networking and letting people know like we're here to serve people and be part of this industry that we all love. Like
Yeah.
I love this industry. Like it's phenomenal. I like the history. I like the richness of it. The quality of the product. You learn so much from all walks of life in this industry. Like so, it really did what I set out to do, which is talk to people and get to know them and learn. because networking is very pivotal in how we grow. But just being in the education side of it was deep.
You talk about being a watch guy. I have a buddy who's also a watch guy, but he buys his watches as an investment because, as he put it, if something ever happened and he needed to get cash quick, that that's the quickest way to get cash that he has, because there's always going to be a market out there for high end and luxury and designer watches. People are always going to want them. So he just always felt that if there was ever a time where I needed cash, that was the best way to get it. And I like that response to it, because I think we all have stuff out there that we have that, if something happened and I needed quick cash out there, what do I have? And, I look at what I have: a ton of cigars, high end cigars, a ton of old cigars that you can't get anywhere anymore. Plus, I'm huge into sports cards and sports memorabilia. So I have a lot of stuff that if I had to flip quick, I knew I could flip that stuff quick and get cash.
So you got a lot of King Griffey's?
I have a few.
Yeah.
I have a few.
Yeah, I was big in getting sports cards when I was younger. So I have a lot of MJs, a lot of the one that's eluded me is Reggie Jackson, and of course I have my triplets, my Michael Irvins, my Troy Aikmans, and my Emmitt Smiths. So of course I have them. I have the Emmitt Smith Rose Bowl where he scored a touchdown. He's on both knees and he's pointing up to the heavens with the football. That's one of my prized possessions. But big on sports cards because that's a huge market in itself.
It is. I just listed up a Reggie Jackson today up for sale.
Wow, wow. Especially with him being on social media with his latest speech on.
Oh yeah, that was. I've listened to Reggie talk a lot out there, and usually he tries to keep it fun and low key. The stories are great, but I feel that the stories that he told last week on a national stage were super important and needed to be put out there,
Yeah,
and it's something that I don't think a lot of people realized, and or at least if they did, not to the scale of which he put it in, explained into the detail. And I think that's awesome what he did, and I commend him. And it was a great, I also thought, what a better place to do it and talk about that at such an historic place like Ricketts Field in Birmingham.
right, right. And you were able to see like it was not just a place of reminiscing about oh, I hit the ball, but like the journey to actually get there and perform at such a high level, it adds a superhuman mental state to it, because like how do you get off a bus, be told like, hey, I don't want you here, and then be told like, get the fuck out of here, and being called out your name and being treated less than human, and then still having to go out there and perform to a high level in front of people on a larger stage, right? In such a high capacity, and it's like I I wish more of his age athletes would really come out and tell those sides of the stories, because I mean, you see the Hank Aaron story, and you saw the Jackie Robinson movie being made, and it's like, yeah, he wasn't just the only one that went through that. You know what I mean? It was like it was the movie. It shed some light on it, But Reggie,
it put more of to me it was more of a romanticizing of overcoming than the actual truths of how things went down and the way things went down, and something that for a long time never really got said or reported on. It was just something that I think that some players felt that, what, I'm gonna shut people up by my performance.
yeah,
Because what's the best way to shut somebody up? Prove them wrong. And yeah, there's just that generation out there that unfortunately slowly losing out there. With Hank, recently with Hank Aaron and Willie Mays last week. As they start getting older, but I think that their stories need to be out there and need to be told because they're just as important in growing and preserving culture out there
yeah,
so that history doesn't repeat itself.
absolutely. And like Reggie's speech, uh, and I don't want to call it a speech because that makes it seem like he was preparing for that moment in preparation, but it's really Reggie's truth. You know what I mean? When you speak truth on live, on live television, and like it makes it reality to understand like what Reggie was really going through. And I'm glad that the network didn't cut him off when he was really going in and really speaking the harsh facts and the hard truth of the ugliness of this country. And when we think about it, the desegregation happened in 1960, right? That's a little over what 40, 50 years ago. So that means like your mom, your dad, well, my mom, my dad, probably with your mommy and your dad, weren't able to even coexist in the same school or classroom at the same time. And that's who we're around. And that's what they grew up in as kids. And then we go into it now and we're kind of like, yeah, we heard about it, but we didn't experience that.
Well, I've always looked at things a bit differently out there because my grandparents immigrated. Both my grandparents on both my side, mom and dad's side, immigrated to this country, and being from Italy, they're always looked at as second class because Italians were looked at as the blacks of Europe. They're only good for one thing, and that's it. And working in the mines out there, but the mines were filled with everybody who else who was considered not good enough, not elite. And so there was always just that, you know, the thing that my parents and my grandparents always taught me was, man, you just treat everybody with respect unless they give you a reason not to.
Right.
And I've always looked at life that way. Is that unless you give me a reason not to like you, man, I'm gonna like you, and whether you like it or not, I'm gonna like you unless you give me a reason not to. And I just think that there's so much other important things out there in this world to fuss about than some of the stupid shit that's going on now that people consider to be an important part of life. There's way more important things out there that to focus energy on that's more constructive and better for everybody in general.
Right. And so I was uh I was actually like about a month ago, right? I was thinking about um I was thinking about why are most older black people afraid of dogs, right? And because like I have a cane corso, and yeah, he's big, right? He's a big fucking dog, but I grew up with dogs, so that dog trauma or fear I don't have. But like I said, it like our parents or our grandparents grew up in the '60s when before desegregation, and the police were sicking fucking dogs on them. You know what I'm saying? That's that right there is like, hey, we don't fuck with dogs because like they've been a weapon. They've been weaponized against kids. Like you can go back and look at all the marches, the 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 march on Birmingham, the march to Selma. Like when they were dispersing those marches, they were using dogs on teenagers, on kids, and they were using dogs to hunt runaway slaves away. So I say that to say this, like it helped me understand, and it made that reality for me a lot more real because like me coming from like, oh, you're just afraid of dogs, don't be. What are you afraid of dogs for? And it's like I'm not really taking into a full account. Like a fucking dog was weaponized against them, and they were just trying to go to school. Adults were weaponizing canines against children,
Yeah.
and that was in this country. So I more so have a respect and I understand where like my older generation comes from, where my family comes from, when like they're afraid of dogs because like you know what, I get it. 'Cause I get it now, and it took me like 2 months ago to really grasp that concept, and I can only imagine like me at this age trying to teach that to my children. My daughter is like 7 going on 8. Trying to say, hey, like at one point there was racism in society. This is what was going on. That's not going to grasp until she actually clicks that this was a real thing. Like with Reggie Jackson, like you see it on movies and you hear about it, but then to see it as a real reality, it's a different kind of impact that his message has, and then how we gotta move forward as a society and as a community to make sure that that shit don't ever happen again, right?
Oh yeah. I agree. Then you can't. It's people don't like that uncomfortableness of it, but it's the uncomfortableness that needs to be out there so people have a sense of the actual reality, not what they see online, not what they see in movies, but an actual sense of reality of what used to be. And I hate the fact that people say, well, that was just the norm then, but it should never have been the norm.
Right. It should have never been the norm.
Should never have been it. Like my mom told the story, that the she was walking with one of the black kids from high school, and some after he got in his car and left, some other kids in a car came up and go, why are you talking to that? And she's like, what do you mean? He's not, that's Jerry. Because that's all she saw. This Jerry.
Right.
And she told her dad, she told my grandpa that. And my, from what I understood, my grandpa had a talking with those kids about um, using that kind of language, and it was unacceptable.
Right.
And that was just, and that's like who my grandpa was. He was a man, military man. Didn't put up with shit, but also, his tolerance for ignorant people was very, very, very minor. Wouldn't tolerate that. He
Right.
wouldn't tolerate people undermining or demeaning anybody regardless of their race or their social status or what. Didn't tolerate any of that. Everybody to him, everybody was accepted. Everybody was welcome.
Right.
Unless you gave them a reason not to.
Right. And honestly, like ignorance is depressing, bro. Like it is a very depressing thing to have to deal with. Like keeping people ignorant and people that want to stay ignorant. Uh, That's depressing. That's is like, yo, um, you don't want to further grow and expand your mind past what you think and your views, and you want to hold it as true, and then you want to implement rules, regulations, policies, and it's a group of people that all
It
think
is. And in today's standard, it's that 16 to 25-year-old that that has this level of this is how it is. You can't go above it and you can't go below it. You have to be thinking on my level, and their level for the most part is ignorance.
right, and it's like, yo, cut this shit out, bro. You
Yeah,
know, like for real.
just knock it off, man. Just knock it off. You know, there again. If you put that much effort into other things in life, we'd be far better off. But you're putting your effort into just stupid shit.
Right, and I'm going back to the men's mental health because like as a man, we are responsible for everything we do. We're accountable for everything we do. Um, and we gotta be in a space to have these real conversations.
Yes.
Like me and you wouldn't be able to have these comfortable conversations. Well, be in a comfortable setting to have these uncomfortable conversations and be comfortable with having them. If that makes sense to you, like we're in a comfortable setting. We're enjoying cigars. I'm black, you're white, but we're talking about you know the 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 oppression from one race to another, the injustices that happen from one race to another, and that it shouldn't be that way. Even being of Italian descent, you experience that in your own way and in your own light. So I'm not gonna downplay what your family or your ancestors went through, um, and I'm not gonna invalidate it either. So I'm gonna expect the same thing from your side.
Of course.
You know?
I don't downplay. Look, I like to look at everything on a linear level making any uh, uh, before making any judgments on anything. You know, I want to hear your story. I want to hear your what you've gone through, not just because let's just make things uncomfortable, but I also want to learn because if if it's something that you've seen out there and something, then that makes me more aware out there of what other people are doing, and that's how you stop a lot of this nonsense. Is that you've now made me aware of something that's there, and now my alert level is on that level. So when I see it, we put a stop to it.
Right.
You know, it's out there. Like I grew up the only white kid in town, so you know, I really didn't have things easy out there, and I faced you know, I had to earn the respect of people before the teasing and and I had a hard time with it. I had a really hard time for a long time, all the way up into my early 20s. I was very uncomfortable in my own skin because I always thought or felt that there was something wrong with me just because of what was said to me when I was younger.
Right.
And it took me a long time to really just accept the fact that I am who I am, and you like me or you don't. And if you don't like me, that's fine. And but this is an airport. You don't need to announce it to everybody. You can just leave.
Right. And see that's powerful right there, bro. Because like accepting yourself for who you are, like so much is lost in self identity. Because we are talking about men's health, and like so many of us don't know who we are as a man, right? And that's white, black, whoever. Don't know, don't recognize who they are as a man and looking for validation from society when we got to understand validation starts inward. Like
Yes.
it, when you start, they say it's easier to raise children properly than it is to fix a broken man, right? So with us going through our childhood traumas and everything, we have to find the right mechanisms and the right strategies to continue to help us grow as a man and stay within our boundaries. So we we are aligned with who we are and not going outside of that realm. Like, hey, you don't like me, hey, that's your business. That's really your business. Because like,
Hey, it's your business, whatever. Yeah, it just, you know, I don't understand why people have to announce it when you just, like, you looking for people to join your cause. I don't, you just, just ignore it. I ignore that people because I don't got any room in my life for that kind of negativity on that, man. I want to associate and hang out with people who have good vibes, people who I can have good conversation with, people who I can talk to and be on the same level with, people who I can learn from, people who I can, people who may have had similar upbringing like me. I want to hang out with people that are cool. I don't want to hang out with jerks. I want to hang out with people who just want to spread negativity in life. There's enough negativity out there already. I don't need to have it added by because you're an asshole.
right, my one of my supervisors a long time ago. Uh, he was telling me, I said, man, how's this is before became a father. I said, man, how's dad life? He was like, man, dad life is simple. I don't have all the answers, but what you really try and do is teach your kids, hey, don't be an asshole. And like I saw him uh like chastising his kid, actually correcting his children, and he said, hey, didn't I tell you to stop doing that? And they were like, yeah. He said, what are you being right now? I said, an asshole. and then he, and then he said, now are you supposed to be an asshole? And they go, no. It was white cat, but like it was funny as hell. But the kids really they responded well to the teaching, and then it was so simple. Like you may say, yeah, the language, but fuck yeah, the kid.
Oh, I try not to use harsh. I got an almost 2 year old because I was stupid and decided let me start over in my 40s. Um,
Hey, you got a lot more life to live. So
uh,
it,
but and I try and watch because kids are sponges at this age, and I try to, uh, I try to watch my language, the harsher language, when she's around, just because it's not appropriate out there. But also, I do use, I try, but she has learned to mock me, and I don't like it. But she does because she makes the same face I make because she knows when she screws up, and
right.
I turn to look, and she'll make the same face and point. Yeah, don't you mock me, boy, but
It's
and
so hard
also
to discipline.
I'm also trying to raise her to, you know, be to be herself and have her own, be your own person and your own personality and be comfortable with who you are. And only time will tell if I'm successful with that. But the main thing I'm her dad, and I'm gonna protect her and do what needs to be done to make sure that happens. And I don't want you know as a man, I think that's probably one of the greatest things that you can be blessed upon is to is to raise and teach a daughter how to grow up and what to be on the lookout for. Stay away from guys like me.
Right.
Out there. But I'm loving every second.
Right.
I as stressed as I was about it. The moment I saw her, I knew that I had to be there for her, and I had to make sure that she was raised right.
Right. And I tell a lot of people this, and a lot of people think I'm crazy when I say it. I'm like, man, being a dad is like the easiest job I have. Like trying to work with adults and that were raised differently and don't understand how I talk and when I talk to them and I need them to do what their job. Like I got to talk to like 30 different individuals on a day-to-day basis to make sure we're all on one accord. Going home and looking at my daughter and talking to her and just she likes chicken nuggets and oatmeal, man. That's just that shit's easy. You know what I'm saying? Like the brass tacks. Did you eat? What did you brush your teeth? Did you wash your ass? And you know what? Are we watching Amazing Life of Gumball or are we watching Teen Titans Go? Like being a dad is like the fucking easiest part of my life right now.
Hey,
It'll
it is.
probably
As much as baby mama complains about how hard she is to get down, I get her down with ease. I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I get her down like cake.
yeah.
I don't know what you're doing wrong, but she's also the disciplinarian, not me. I'm Mr. Softy at this point. I'm like, I don't yell at her like that. Then I get the look, and
Yeah.
every man's gotten that look, and you're just like, do your thing.
Yeah. See, what's crazy in my circle, I'm the disciplinarian, but I'm also the teacher. So, like, I teach and I discipline at the same time. Everybody else gets to be the fun person. I have to be the one that's not spoiling her because, like, she's the princess, she's the heiress. Everybody's like, oh, don't talk to her like that. Don't raise your voice at her. And I'm like, hey, man, all right. I'm the one that's responsible for anything that she does. So, shut up.
I gotta, I've got to work with mine on identification, because she's at that point where she sees things and identifies it with mom and dad.
Yeah.
And she picked up the black Barbie and some mama, and then she picks up a donkey from her farm set and go, Daddy. All right, first off, we got to work on this. All
Yeah.
right, all right, I get the Barbie as mama. I get it.
I get
All
it.
right,
All right.
I get it. Well, why do I look like a donkey?
Why do I got to be the ass?
Yeah, I gotta be that. Well, I gotta be. Yeah. So I got to work with her on that. But yeah, that's she goes over. She goes over. She picks up the black Barbie and she's like, "Mama." I was like, "Yeah, that looks like Mama. Yeah, it does." Yeah. Daddy. No.
No, that
No.
ain't
No. That ain't it. No. No, we got to work on this.
Yeah, come on, man. We got to be better than that. I thought you loved me. Shit. But yeah, bro, that's fun and that's funny at the same time, man. Like, God damn it.
Yeah. And come on. What are you doing? Yeah.
Roast.
I know. It be your own that do it too.
It do. It do. We're like, man, I don't think you realize your whole life it's dependent on how good I treat you and how good you got it. But
you see all this stuff in here, I bought it, and you associate me with a donkey? You got all this because of me.
She said, no, you're looking at it wrong. The donkey works hard and it carries the load for the family. That's what she's trying to say. That's what she was doing.
I hope that's where she's going with it, but no. Like, you pick a cooler animal, all right? Why could you pick up the dinosaur? I mean,
Right.
that would have been cool.
You could have picked up the dinosaur, the lion. I know you got
Yeah,
a lion out there.
something. Yeah, come on. You pick a donkey. Ah,
Man, that's hilarious, bro.
ah, got to work on that.
Hmm. For sure. What's next for you, bro?
Um, with PCA moving this year, it kind of threw off my whole summer, and so I'm just kind of like wide open. I'll be I'll be at Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest in August in Denver, and then I'll be down in Dallas in November for Dallas Smoke Fest
Right.
as one of the ambassadors. So I'll be down there for that, and that's kind of it for my year. I don't really have anything else scheduled.
Mhm.
That's just kind of just kind of like usually I kind of have everything scheduled out, but with PCA moving, it really kind of just messed up my entire year, and so next year I gotta kind of fill in those gaps because I didn't do it this year.
So are they moving the dates or are they keeping it the same?
Oh, it's moving dates. Well, because PCA has always been, or even when it was IPCR, was in July.
Yeah.
And so when they moved it to March this year, it kind of threw off all my scheduling for events and things that I would do or go to. And so that threw it off. And next year, it's in April and in New Orleans.
Yeah. See,
So I got
that's
to
what
work
you're
on
talking
filling in that air, that dead space between April and August.
because it in like when is in the Orlando Cigar Fest in like March or something like that.
Oh, that's out of my range.
Right.
I kind of I always got to look at what's going on because everybody is kind of now changing everything around from where things used to be, and like the retailers wanted things changed up, and now that they changed it up, they're complaining about it being changed up when they gave them what they wanted. And so I really probably after Dallas, I'll have to sit down and look at scheduling at what's going on when and where, and kind of fill in those empty gaps that I would have of what I would have been doing this year that I didn't do just because everything got everything got kind of flipped around, and going out there to Vegas for PCA, it's a huge financial commitment, and to kind of eat that big red spot at the beginning of the year kind of hampers everything that you can do for kind of the rest of the year instead of having it in the middle of the year where you can kind of juggle stuff around to make everything work financially. You take a big hit right off the bat to start the year off.
Right. Right. It was PCA for me this year. I honestly I was told about it from the guys that throw Houston Cigar Week that you want to be at PCA if you want to be taken seriously. And it was a last minute thing that we figured out how to make it work. My buddy here at LG, he was going, so I was like, all right, cool. Now I have somebody that's going that I can really bounce this new adventure off of. And then too, like you, like I usually have all my trips within the summer, May. Like for PCA, it was a big commitment as far as like time and working. Like I would usually I'm not working whenever I take my trip. So it was kind of like, okay, well, we're going here to work and really, connect with people of this industry and really understand what we're doing with the brand and make sure we're really on point with what the industry is asking for. Um, and I think we're right on the mark for what we're doing and what we're setting out to accomplish this year. Now, next year it may change, but I mean, um, I'm looking forward to New Orleans. Um, I there's not a restaurant that I go to in New Orleans that has never missed with me. Like all the food is always good. It's always a good time. Um, I wouldn't live there, but I mean, I would definitely.
It's a fun city to visit.
Yeah, it is definitely a fun city to visit. Just like Vegas, I can't do more than 3 days in Vegas because I'm gambling and then just really. I
It's gotten out of hand price wise. Me, when I do PCA, I go with a brand and I work with a brand when I'm out there. So I'm out there for a week. And I'm like, it's a week's way too long to be out there.
Yeah,
And so uh not only am I out there working with a brand, but I'm also out there working, kind of doing what my own thing too in my free time that I've got. But when I'm out there on the sales floor, I'm committed to the brand I'm with. But all the events, all the parties, everything that goes on after the show ends, that's for me. That's I'm out there networking and working on what I do on my side of things, and so you know when you and owning an accessory company out there, just being out there and talking with other accessory brands that are out there and talking with retail shops and talking with distributors out there, that's such valuable information that you can use and take back to grow the brand and make it better than what it is.
absolutely. So even all the way down to like understanding my cigar journey, you know, is learning the difference in the wrapper, the blends, the fillers, how they go about with their growing, their farmers, all that. Um, Cram, it pretty much took like 5 years of a college experience and put it into one weekend, right? So like you go from the education aspect to the partying aspect, and you crammed it all within that one that 1 year, that one weekend. Or for you it was a week. For me it was like I think 3 4 days, close to a week. So and then it's in Vegas. So it's rock star lifestyle out there, and just whatever you want to do, you can do it. So uh, I enjoyed my time at PCA, and that's why I was like, well, I'm definitely going back to that.
It you know I've been out there now a couple years with a brand, and I've been out there as part of media, and I have far more fun when I'm out there as media because I don't have any pressure on me to do anything other than get information. But when you try pulling double duty out there, it gets difficult, and part of me gets jealous of when, like, people like you, when you're out there, because you're out there and having fun, you're taking everything in and enjoying and learning, but you also don't have any expectations put on you. Or me, it's I got that expectation, one, of the brand, and two, I've got my own personal expectation because of what I do within the media section of the industry.
Right.
So,
That's
I don't
what
get
you
to
get for being a rock
relax.
star. That's what you get for being a rock star, man. Your success takes a shot at you.
Not nowhere remotely close to a rock star. Nowhere remotely close. Uh, but I enjoy it. I'm looking forward to the change of pace and New Orleans, and it's been a while since I've been out there. So, I'm gonna try and take some of it in while I'm there instead of making it all about work.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. We're going to lunch when we get out there next year. So be ready for that.
Yes, definitely. I will be ready to go and enjoy my time.
Mhm.
Man, this was awesome having you on the show. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come and talk to us about the brand, and great conversation tonight. If you want to connect with Bryson, down in the description, I got links to everything him. Everything's there. You can just click on it, connect through social media, website. Everything is all right there. Easy peasy for you.
Easy peasy. Go to Kingpin Luxury Cigar Access on Instagram, kingpinluxury.com if you want to order. Kingpin Luxury Cigar Accessories online. You have any questions about roofing, Fowler Roofing Pros, Instagram, fowlerroofingpros.com. You have tax questions, taxtimeprofessionals.com, Tax Time Pros on Instagram, Tax Time Pros on Facebook, or you can just DM me at brate46 on my own personal Instagram. So we're here for you. And remember, storms don't last, but your home should.
Yeah, there you go. And next week will be the final show for the month as I take my summer break in July off. Justin, the Owl Hunter, will be on, content creator and photographer extraordinaire. Has had a couple of nice features in Cigar Aficionado magazine out there. Just became a brand new dad for the first time. So we'll catch up with my buddy Justin. I'm excited to talk to him. And next Tuesday night, live raw cigar reviews over on my IG Live. Brandy and I have on Domain Cigars, so I'll remind you all about that next week. That'll be another fun show to kick back and relax and watch Brandy and I live review a cigar. That is it for tonight, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed the show. You guys take care and be safe out there. If you missed any portion of this show, it will be downloaded and up on my Rumble page on Wednesday, so you can go back and relive all the great moments of this show all over again. So until next week, guys, take care. Be safe out there. Don't do anything Bryson and I wouldn't do because we're sweet and innocent boys, and we'll see you later. Everybody, peace out.